Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So, what's on tap for today? Well, we've got the Cackling Hens of the Rear View. That's right, folks, a reaction video to Ilhan Omar being ousted from the Foreign Affairs Committee. We're going to get to all that the next few seconds, but before we do so, I'd just like to let you know that you're watching the Dr. Nasir Sheikh Show. I'm your guest host for today. My name is Dr. Nasir. If it's your first time here, you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. Comment below. Let us know what you think. Let's get to our beloved female friends at the Rear View. Let's go to it right now.
Today, the Republican-controlled House voted to boot Congresswoman Ilhan Omar off the Foreign Affairs Committee, saying that she has no place on the committee because of anti-Semitic comments she made in the past. But the Congresswoman claims she is the victim of right-wing racism. Take a look.
I am Muslim. I am an immigrant, and interestingly, from Africa. Is anyone surprised that I am being targeted? Is anyone surprised that I am somehow deemed unworthy to speak about American foreign policy? My leadership and voice will not be diminished if I am not on this committee for one term. My voice will get louder and stronger, and my leadership will be celebrated around the world as it has been.
So after she was voted out, some of her Democratic colleagues gave Republicans an earful. Watch this.
I had a member of the Republican caucus threaten my life, and you all and the Republican caucus rewarded him with one of the most prestigious committee assignments in this Congress. Don't tell me this is about consistency. This is about targeting women of color in the United States of America.
I stand before you as a proud Jew and a proud friend and colleague of Ilhan Omar. I don't need any of you to defend me against anti-Semitism.
So is this Republican revenge?
All right. So first of all, you saw Ilhan Omar. Okay, this Ilhan Omar is the same Ilhan Omar that basically pretends to be a Muslim, right? She's not a Muslim. She's what I call a Muslimist, all right? She wants a theocratic doctrine in terms of, theocratic state of Islam. That's what she's looking for. She is no way near a Muslim. She also allegedly, and there's been some proof that's been submitted, but allegedly she married her brother so that she could gain United States citizenship, and she also had an affair with her campaign manager, the only thing about her that's different is she has a nice wardrobe of headscarves that she wears to like to portend that wearing a headscarf and being female makes you a Muslim. She's not. And all that other stuff, when you saw AOC and that other lady out there, of course you're going to protect your own. I wouldn't think of it any other way. All right? Anyways, let's continue.
Or should Omar be held accountable for what she said? What say my panel?
Well, listen, if it's not revenge, it's certainly Republican hypocrisy.
Yes.
Yeah. And look, I'm not a fan of Ilhan Omar. Mm-hmm. I disagree with her vehemently on most of her foreign policy views. I think she's dead wrong on Venezuela, on Cuba, on Israel, on many issues. And I say that because the fact that I disagree with her doesn't mean that I think this is okay. And why is this hypocritical? Because at the same time, they're booting her off a committee for having said anti-Semitic remarks, which she apologized for. They are elevating and embracing Marjorie Taylor Greene. Sure. And so let's just go down memory lane of some of the stuff she said. She said Jews started forest fires with space lasers. She said January 6th was done by BLM. She said Pelosi should be executed. She said school shootings weren't real. She said COVID-19 is a hoax and belittled the significance of the yellow star of the Holocaust in order to do it. And they're also embracing pathological liar George Santos. Yeah. And let's think about his recent lies. He said his grandparents fled the Holocaust.
Right.
In his campaign bio, he said his grandparents fled the Holocaust, and he said it in an interview. So you know what? It is the height of hypocrisy. It is hypocrisy that should make every American, whether you like Ilhan Omar or you don't, whether you think she's right or you think she's wrong, it should make us all be disgusted by what's happening in Congress.
I have to say about her, though.
I don't know if we really want, let me get this segment on here for Ana Navarro. Again, as we said, Ilhan Omar was a fake Muslim. Ana Navarro basically is a fake Republican. She's certainly the fake conservative, all right? She's not conservative by any means. But she just basically said right there that she doesn't agree with Ilhan Omar on any of her foreign policy things. Then why is she on the Foreign Affairs Committee? Ilhan Omar has no bona fides to be there at all. Absolutely not. And as far as the others, if you're talking about George Santos, you're talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene, hey, I agree with, you know what? If you don't want to, don't put them on. But guess what? Elections have consequences. If they want to put somebody on the committee, they put somebody on the committee. They want to vote somebody off the committee, they vote them off the committee. When the Democrats were in charge, they did the same damn thing. That's what happens in politics. Live with it. Let's continue and see what Joyless Behar has to say.
Something that she said that I'm not sure. I mean, I get what you're saying. Believe me, I understand that because the right wing is very hypocritical. But she said that she did not know that what she said that was construed as anti-Semitic, she didn't know that that was what they call a trope, a Jewish trope.
She was
and that
lying.
She didn't know that. Now, that people equate money with Jews, for instance. I don't believe her.
Well, I do. I think she's an immigrant. I think she's had a different experience.
She's been here a
long
time.
I think that's a trope that's largely, you hear it in this country. So I'm not surprised that she didn't.
So this is Sunny Hostin, who is also culturally appropriates everything. Her real name is Assumption Cummings or something like that. And she's half black and she's half Puerto Rican, but she hides her Puerto Rican, basically, ethnicity. She basically thinks that she's, 100% black and utilizes that to be the racist, bigoted, person that she is. Let's hear what Assumption has to say about this.
No, and
that is not a trope, excuse me. Well, that is not a trope that is just here in this country. That is a worldwide trope.
And maybe it's
good for you, Joy. Good for you. Correct.
The other piece of it, Joy, is that, I take her at her word that she didn't know, and she's nevertheless apologized and met with Jewish members of her caucus. The other thing I think is, I don't think this is hypocrisy. I think it's pure racism, and I think we should call that out when we see it, and we hear it, and we look at it. I don't think it's hypocrisy because she was elected in 2018, I believe. Yeah, 2018. She has been the subject of targets, racial targets or racialized targets since then. Donald Trump said during one of his rallies in 2019 that she should be sent her back. Other members of the caucus, of the Republican caucus, have targeted her. And so the suggestion somehow that it's merely hypocrisy, I think, devalues what this really is, and that's racism against a Muslim American
woman.
Couldn't it
be racism? Absolutely.
Before we get to Sarah here, again, Assumption Cummings, also known as Sunny Hostin, culture appropriator, name appropriator, ethnicity appropriator, whatever you need to appropriate for that day to get your point across. That's who Sunny Hostin Assumption really is. Hey, how long did it take for Sunny to basically spit out the word racism, the big R? 30 seconds? That's all this bigoted, racist black woman does. She's just as bad as Joy Reid. She's a race hustler. She's a race baiter. That's who she is.
Experienced racism. But with her, the hard part is that I think there's hypocrisy involved here, which taints the water, because you cannot have Paul Gosar and Marjorie Taylor Greene being put back on committees and then saying, oh, this is about anti-Semitism. But I do think there's a more complex conversation here in addition to and beyond racism, which is she has said things and apologized, but she keeps stepping into the same puddle. Yes. And so eventually you have to say your actions speak louder than words, because she does it, a couple years later she does it again, then a couple later, and so I think it's a fair decision to be made that she's not on this specific committee.
I've consistently said that Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Paul Gosars, they shouldn't be on committees, but I don't think she should be on the Foreign Affairs Committee. This is a committee tasked with dealing with U.S.-Israeli relations. She has shown a lack of understanding of anti-Semitism at a time when it's on the rise in the U.S. and around the globe. She's equated Hamas, a U.S. State Department designated terrorist organization, with the U.S. and Israel, as well as the Taliban. But she also trafficked, I'm not going to repeat it because we have to be careful with that, a trope about Jews controlling power, which dated back to a Nazi-era film produced by Goebbels about a Jewish person hypnotizing people for power. She does not understand the policies she's working on. If she wants to deal with refugees on a committee because she has the expertise and experience, I'm here for that.
Not this
I think
committee.
that's devaluing her
This
by saying that
committee
she
would
doesn't
be considered
understand foreign
on-the-job
policy.
training when it comes to
I'm talking
Jewish
specific to
relationships.
anti-Semitism.
Well, the thing is, do you equate being, I guess, criticizing Israeli foreign policy with anti-Semitism?
No, not at all.
Well, what she has done, and I'm not trying to defend her because I think she's made a lot of mistakes, and I think they've been ignorant mistakes that she has apologized for. But criticizing, I don't think we should ever confuse criticizing Israeli policy against involving Palestinians, which is what she does often, is the same as anti-Semitism.
But that's very different. You could have any sort of approach on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, support a two-state solution. That's very different than trafficking an anti-Semitic trope.
Right.
And once you've been called out once, though, normally that specific issue, you'll be more sensitive to the next time. She does it again. It keeps coming back so that she's revealing, when someone shows you who they are, you need to believe them. She's apologized, but her words have not held the weight of her repeated actions.
Which is why I go back to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, I agree,
Yes,
but both of those things can be true.
She apologized for belittling the Yellow Star, but just a few months ago, she went to a white supremacist convention.
McCarthy sold a kidney to get a speakership. He literally gave away everything he has.
Let us not let Kevin McCarthy and Jim Jordan off the hook on this topic. I just want to say what they said. McCarthy himself tweeted in 2018 accusing prominent Jewish Democratic donors, George Soros, Steyer, and Bloomberg, of trying to buy the election. He deleted.
Hey, and he said she did, right? He deleted him. So what's wrong with that? You're trying to buy the election. Don't they say that about everybody? All these billionaires, the Koch brothers, what do they say with people on the right? The people on the right that are multimillionaires and billionaires spending their money. Hey, they're trying to buy the election. That has nothing to do with it. So what? I don't know why McCarthy, chickened out and deleted that tweet. I would have stood right behind that tweet. We all know that's what he's doing. George Soros is spending his money to put in DAs across to basically what? Water down the laws of the United States of America, produce chaos as he's done in so many cities like in Philadelphia and Baltimore, in San Francisco and Chicago, so many others. We know that's what he's done.
Deleted the tweet. If he was innocent, why did he have to delete the tweet? Okay, and in 2019, Jim Jordan tweeted criticizing Democratic donor Tom Steyer and spelling his last name with a $sign. These are not accidents, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
These are purposeful anti-Semitic
Let's remember
attacks.
when the House Judiciary Committee had the tweet up for months and months. They finally deleted it. That said Kanye, Elon, Trump. Well, you want to talk about anti-Semitism?
Yeah.
Let's begin with Kanye.
Yeah. Well, people use it all through history to win elections and to win everything. So we'll be right back.
So there you have it, folks. I mean, the cackling hens. And you know what? Look, I was a little surprised. It was surprising that they did not have, Whoopi Goldberg here on this issue. And I think that was by design, since Whoopi has also stepped in it with anti-Semitic remarks and doesn't understand at all. Or I think she does, but she still has some form of anti-Semitism. Either she's an idiot and she's a moron, Whoopi, in terms of her remarks, or she's just absolutely, I don't know what to say. I mean, could she be that stupid that she doesn't understand that what she's saying and the remarks that Whoopi Goldberg made? So I think this is by design that she wasn't here on today's show. Joey Behar led this segment, but you did have, like I said, Alyssa and Sarah, sort of chiming in and saying, hey, look, Ilhan Omar, she said some things, then she apologizes, then she comes back and she says the same thing, then she apologizes, and then she says she's sorry again, and it's over and over and over again. Now, as far as with Republicans, hey, look, I understand, but you're going to have hypocrisy on there. But the fact of the matter is, Republicans are in charge. They get to decide who are on these committees. And you know what? what was good for the goose before is not good for the gander, right? That's the way politics is played. Anyways, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. We hope you enjoyed our reaction to this video. Put your comments down below. Let us know. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with Joyless Behar? Or do you agree with Ana Navarra or Sunny Ascension Hostin, the cultural and, everything out there appropriator? Anyways, you've been watching the Dr. Nasir Sheikh Show. I've been your guest host for this segment. My name is Dr. Nasir. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. And I'll leave you with my final thoughts, which is, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.